stood out either from a performance or leadership standpoint, or a couple guys, or who's doing well?
Yeah, there's been a couple guys that have done that, and there's been a lot of guys that have done it here for some days, and then some other guys are here. Then there's a shift and back and forth. But I've been pleased with our group. I've been pleased with our group. Not to be confused with we've arrived, because we certainly haven't. But we're making some strides and steps in the right direction, and just overall just continuing to build, and like the competitive depth and guys being able to execute no matter what the temperature is, or humidity, or who we're playing, where we're playing, whatever, just because that's the standard.
Coming off that first scrimmage, what are your biggest points of emphasis going into the second scrimmage?
Okay, eliminate those penalties, eliminate those pre-snap penalties, because again, that's lack of discipline, and as coaches, we have to own that, and as players, they've got to own that. So we've got to own it together. But the pre-snap penalties, those are things that, like, there's no other than lack of mental discipline, which is a coach's responsibility to put a disciplined product out there. All right, that's what we got to eliminate, the pre-snap penalties.
Is that pretty typical for a first scrimmage, though, to have those sorts of?
That was high. That was high. That was high. Yeah.
Couple more. This is obviously the first fall camp where you're able to communicate with one of the players. How have you adjusted to that, and what's that going?
Well, that's something we're continuing to work through. Getting used to. Some days we use it, okay, and some days we don't, because again, I don't want to be in their ear all the time. I want them to be able to learn, on their own through doing, and like, what happens if it goes out? Okay, so now what? So the players take ownership, and at the same time, from a technology, an advantage standpoint, to be able to talk sometimes to them and things of that nature. But it's been on and off as far as how we've used that. But again, we got to train them for both scenarios. But I like it.
Has there been anybody in the secondary that's really caught your eye, especially in these last 2 weeks?
There's been a few people, but I've been pleased with our corners play. They've been challenged a lot, and our safeties are becoming better tacklers. So pleased with those two groups, and also the communication has certainly improved with our safety. So that's been good.
What's up?
John,
What's good? How you doing?
how does this camp feel different for you? Because you came in a year ago, you were a true freshman. It seemed like you were going to play a little bit, maybe didn't know how much. But now, after having this full year of college, there's another spring on your system. Do you feel more like one of the established guys right now?
Yeah, no, I'm just coming in every day. Come in, putting the work in. I really don't think about stuff like that. I just come in every day, try to put the work in.
You feel a lot more comfortable out there now that you know the defense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for
sure.
sure. Yeah, I do.
Coach Rose just talked about penalties for that first scrimmage. How do you guys manage to find a way to kind of get past that, to put those penalties aside and maybe get better in the second?
Just to be more disciplined as a group, just be more disciplined and pay attention to more details, really.
As an interior defensive lineman, how does having an edge like Malachi Lawrence and the other guys in the room help you out?
Having no guy. Can you say that question again?
How does the edge room, specifically Malachi, help you do your job?
Malachi, he's a good player. He sets the edge, and if the edge do their job, it make us right. So we all got to play as one group, and if we do that, we'll execute.
What is it about Ted Bruce's defense that works so well for you?
I like how aggressive it is. It makes me play football and not think as much, and that's what I really like about it.
When you look at the way Sunday went, what kind of work was it for you guys as a unit? How did you kind of take over at different spots? Because Gus had mentioned that particular position group was kind of the one that stood out most.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
On Sunday, what worked for you guys as a unit to dominate the scrimmage the way Gus kind of alluded to?
Just doing our role and executing the calls and just being, like I said, just being disciplined.
Going into year 2, what was something that you really worked on or wanted to get better after your freshman season?
Just really paying attention to like little details and just really knowing what to do in different situations, and yeah.
John, when did things kind of maybe come together more for you last season? Was there a game that you remember, or a moment in a game where things started to click and you weren't having to think as much and you just felt real comfortable out there?
I really can't remember what game, but like like I said, every day I feel like I'm just understanding it more and more. If I just come in every day and just put my mind to it, I will, get to where I have to get to.
John, we talked a little bit, Coach talked a little bit about communication, how important it is. How have you guys, as a group, as a unit, how guys have you guys worked well with the communication part?
I feel like we doing pretty good, but we still got to communicate more on the field. Yeah, communication is key because if we don't communicate, we can't, win. Yeah, just win. So we just got to communicate more, and if we communicate more, we'll be good.
Caden Call's been a player that's been brought up a lot this fall camp by other guys. You and him were very early in the hometown hero movement. What's it like to see another guy from the same area as you?
Caden Call, he's doing really good. He's coming in every day, putting in the work. And, I met him me and him were roommates last year. That's when I really, truly met him. And, I see him, just coming in every day, just putting in the work and just trying to get him, get better. And I feel like, he's going to really have a good season this year.
What's it like going up against the offensive line?
It's good competition. They get me better. I get them better. At the end of the day, we, give each other great competition.
What was the highlight of today's practice? The best play out there? Was there anyone on defense that stood out, or maybe, I don't know, if you want to admit anyone on offense?
Well, it was really, I haven't really seen anything today. I got to look back on film. But I feel like Tyreek Robinson, he's a standout player to me. He's a heavy guy. He's strong. And I feel like, if he put everything together, he would be a really good player.
Anything else? Yeah, you just mentioned Tyreek. Who else has been having a good camp? Has anyone impressed you, teammate-wise, or who's been looking good out there?
I feel like everyone's been looking really good. But another young guy I'll say will be Chasen. Chasen, he come in every day and put in the work in as well. And one day he'll be a really good ball player.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. So you're about 8 days of practice, about a week and a half of camp. As you said, your first scrimmage on Sunday. How did that go from an offensive standpoint? I know you're one of the guys working in the mix. How did that scrimmage go for you guys?
Yeah, it went well. Good challenge by the defense on Sunday. The days of the week run together right now. Sunday, yeah. Yeah, good challenge. I'd say maybe they got the better of us a little bit. The playbook is a little bit smaller when you're only a weekend, so it's really simple football. Not a lot of tricks from either side. So not exactly scheming anybody up. It's just kind of traditional ball. So it went well, and I think it was good for both sides.
Trent, Jacoby Jones has come in here and has had a pretty good start to the fall camp. What have you seen from him? And I know a lot of players have talked about his presence, his physical presence and physicality. What has stood out to you about him?
Yeah, he's definitely a big, strong guy, and he just has a veteran presence. He's played a lot of ball at junior college and then Ohio, so he just brings that knowledge with him, and he's used it well, and he's been making plays.
What is it like to have so many veterans in that wide receiver room here?
Yeah, I think it's a positive thing for sure. We can feed off each other, learn. Experience is the biggest teacher. For us, game reps, which we have several guys with a lot of those. So when you're able to put that all in the same room, we can learn a lot from each other and just be more versatile.
Coming out of the first scrimmage, what have been points of emphasis that you all are looking at in practice this week?
For the receivers, it's always downfield blocking, winning 50-50 balls, and then just execution of what's called. Like I said, through the first week, the playbook isn't as big just because we've only had a couple practices, but as we go on to more scrimmages and then into games, you have more and more to know and execute, so we'll keep building on that.
It seemed like it was kind of like working on basics on Sunday for offense. What kind of things are you looking to nail down in those early days of scrimmages and the early days of practice? Like, what are the key things you guys want to drill in before you start putting things up and scheming against other opponents?
Yeah, just the big thing in Coach Malzahn's offense, playing fast, playing with pace, some RPOs here and there, and just steady fits on blocking and know when to swing it out the perimeter, all that stuff. Just kind of the marquee pieces of our offense is what we establish first.
What have you seen from some of those younger guys like Riddell and others, these first 2 weeks specifically?
Yeah, I think they've done a good job. Camp can be tough, especially mentally, just a grind every day. You're here all day, every day. So trying to help those young guys through that mental part and then let their physical tools take over when they're out on the field and go make plays.
I know Coach said the other day that KJ Jefferson, when he's not live, he's kind of limited and kind of holds him back a little bit from what he likes to do out there. But just kind of what's been your evaluation of KJ and how are the wide
Yeah, I mean, Caden throws a great catchable ball. I think that's been evident through spring and this first part of camp. Yeah, Coach Malzahn's right that when he's not live, he obviously doesn't have one of his huge weapons, which is his legs and, the ability that he has not to be tackled, especially in the open field or, right up the middle. So I think he's been great, and I am excited to see when he finally goes live against another team how he performs.
Trent, Coach Roof talked about avoiding camp, the blues, the middle of fall camp.
Mhm.
It's kind of, maybe can dip a little bit with guys getting tired. You've been through a lot of camps, fall camps. What is it you guys can do to maybe avoid kind of that letdown maybe in mid-camp?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing, kind of the dog days of camp, as we like to say. I think a huge thing is just to look kind of towards that next landmark of camp. For us, it's a scrimmage on Saturday. You just kind of got to will your body to get to that point, and then you go play ball, go play live again. Then you hit reset, go through another couple days of practice, try to push yourself towards that next big date of camp, whatever that may be. And then after a while, it's not a big date in camp, it's a game day matchup. So just kind of train your body in that way.
Some of the other receivers have talked about you as a 50-50 guy. What excites you about that mono-on-mono?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of defines our position is being able to come down with those balls. And if you make those plays in practice, you'll get that opportunity in games, and that's all you can ask for is opportunity, and then make the most of it. So it's super exciting to get those opportunities, and like I said, just trying to make the most of them.
As a veteran, how do you approach your role as a leader?
Yeah, I think it's important. I try to be the same type of guy that I had others be for me. For me, it was when I was at Florida, guys like Van Jefferson, Josh Hammond, Freddie Swain, who were lucky enough to play some in the NFL, just taught me a lot about really being a pro, which obviously we're collegiate athletes, but this landscape is changing dramatically, and they taught me how to carry myself, and I hope to pass that along to the younger guys to just take your job professionally and work hard.
How important is it to you to kind of go out with a bang in your last year of football? And on that note, how important is it to you, just what it means to be a UCF legacy? Your dad was an excellent wide receiver here as well. He played here. You're going to finish your career as a Knight just like he did. What does that mean to you?
It means a ton, especially to be able to carry on my dad's legacy. He means a ton to me, probably my biggest role model in many aspects of life, football, spiritually, just being a man. So to carry on his legacy is huge. What was the first part of the question?
Just how important is it to you just to go out with a bang? Your last year of college football, like how important is it to you to have a great season?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'd love to go out with a huge season, as everybody would. I think it's a huge motivator to work hard, knowing that it's the last ride from a collegiate standpoint. So that's a huge motivator when you're in the dog days of camp, as you asked. Is if you got one more, you got to leave it all out there. So it's a huge motivator.
Your dad's coaching high school right now.
He is. He's back on the horse. So he's head coach there at Buchholz. They got let's see, maybe a fall jamboree next week, and then high school season opens up after that, I think. So I'm excited to see how the Bobcats do. I'm a huge Bobcat fan. I love being in the hotel Friday night getting high school football updates. So.
You want to coach? Like, I don't know if you're starting to think about your career post-football. Is coaching something you're interested in?
It does interest me. Don't know exactly the route I want to take. I've been interested in some administrative work as well in sports. I would like to stay in sports in some capacity. It's kind of all I've ever known. So we'll see where things take me and what opportunities bring or come my way. But I've made a lot of great connections at UF and here at UCF, and I hope that those pay off.
Questions for Caden?
Hey, Caden, now this is your third year here, and you've been working towards this position to be UCF starting center. I know you got in there a little bit last season. You got banged up. I know last season didn't go the way you wanted, but how does it feel now? You're coming in. Everyone's looking at you to start. I mean, are you pretty excited, for this season coming up? Knowing what's at stake for you?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's exciting just knowing what the line's going to look like. But it's the same goal as last year and the year before that and everything. We just want to win. So we're just looking towards that one goal, not necessarily who's starting right now. So we just want to win this year.
Caden, how frustrating was it for you last year? You started out strong, and then you got hurt, and you kind of derailed a little bit what was going on. How frustrating was that, and how much does that maybe emphasize the idea of staying healthy, going into this year?
Yeah, well, you never know what's going to happen on the field. So, I mean, unfortunately, I got hurt last year in the Baylor game. But, it gave me a chance to work on my mental game and, develop spiritually and all that. So it just taught me to never take anything for granted as well. So, yeah, it was good.
You were Coach Hand's first signee on the offensive line here. What's
Yeah, no, I mean, we've really grown as a family more than anything. We're all a family in that unit, so I mean, it's a great unit to be in for sure. And you know, like we've grown as a family for sure. So.
In your development, what have been points of emphasis going into this camp, and what have you been working on most particularly?
Really just understanding the offense more from spring to fall. I've just developed my IQ a lot more and technique and fundamentals and stuff like that. So yeah.
Center was kind of a revolving door last year through the different factors. How much is are teammates and coaches looking at you to be kind of a point of stability at that position?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm trying to work on my IQ because I want to be that stability that the O-line needs. You know, center makes all the calls, so just to have that rock at the middle of the line, you know, that's what I want to be for the UCF offensive line.
What goes into like kind of learning to make the calls? What's been the biggest jump in terms of developing that football IQ to be able to be control that stuff?
It's just watching film, a lot of film, and then getting reps in practice. And the games were good to play in last year, getting reps against different defenses, but just reps in practice and watching film, just understanding different looks and twists and what the defensive line's trying to do.
Do you and the offensive line kind of have a chip on your shoulder, obviously up and down year for the line last year? Do all of you kind of have that little chip on your shoulder to try and prove something to the entire country?
Yeah, well, it's not only the offensive line, it's the whole offense. We went, I don't even know what our record was last year. I just put that behind me. So that record is our chip on our shoulder. We're going to show the whole world that we're way better than that and that we're going to win a lot more games this year.
Caden, kind of talk to us about the rest of your offensive line. How are you guys looking? I know you've got Marcellus and Adrian, I guess, flanked on either side of you. I guess it's still, Amari and Paul, I guess, at tackle. Is kind of how are the guys looking? What kind of competition is going on?
They're looking good. I said we're a family, so we're really comfortable with each other. We understand what each other's thinking and what the goals are for the play that is ahead. Like I said, we're just really comfortable with each other, so it's fun to play next to them.
Talk about knowing the offense and being a key part of that. With KJ being a quarterback now, what has stood out in your mind, the relationship with him and how he's been able to perform?
Yeah, no, KJ's a great dude. Like I said in the springtime when I was in the media, he's just a great leader. He understands everything that we're trying to do. We get together once a week, watch film with him and the running backs just to, you know, try to understand more what the defense is trying to do and let them know what we're thinking and what they're thinking as well.
Are you in game prep mode already for the New Hampshire game?
No, we're in game prep mode for our defense right now.
Okay,
But
'cause my question was based on that, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask.
all right, yeah.
What's it like going up against the defensive line?
It's really good competition. Guys like Ricky and Lee go against them every single day. You know, they're big guys, so it gives me a chance to work on my craft and, you know, just technique and fundamentals. But they give us a good challenge and a run for our money, so we do the same thing right back to them. So, yeah.
I know, Caden, I know you talked about you're just kind of focused on today and the day-to-day of camp, but I mean, how excited are you for this season? This is a moment you've been working on, 3 years here, and to be on the verge of, being the starter. I mean, how excited are you to have a really good year this year?
I'm really excited. I'm just trying to stay humble. That's all it is. You know, it's really exciting to, you know, have that starting role and reach and be able to play in all these games in places like Florida and whatnot. But, you know, like you said, I'm just trying to look at it day by day and not take anything for granted.
You talked about getting a taste of it last year. What were the emotions like before your first starts as a UCF man? What was the, did you have nerves or was it, just excitement level? What were kind of the emotions you were feeling?
Well, Coach Hand always teaches us to just be ready for our moment because anybody could go down at any point in time, like what happened in Baylor with me. You know, I got put in Villanova game, and I was ready for it. Like, there were no nerves whatsoever. It's kind of weird because you're thinking about it, and then you're, like, getting all riled up, and then the second you put your hand on the ball, everything goes away. It's just the game. So that's kind of how it was for me. It was a little weird, a little surreal feeling, but, you know, I was ready for it. And I know everybody on the line will be ready for their moment, too.
You played tackle in high school. How does that help with your communication as a center?
Not necessarily communication, just working in space. Tackle is a lot more, you know, blocking in space kind of job. But I ended up playing center my senior year, which transitioned well into college. But, yeah, just the working in space aspect of tackle.
Everyone, all the special teams guys, all the offensive guys, I'm sure when they get the new EA Sports game, they talk all about it. As an offensive lineman, if you get a chance to play it, how do you view it? Because do you actually study how the offensive line performs in a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always freaking frustrated because I'm always getting sacked by our line, but which makes no sense. I got the highest, strongest rating on our offensive line, which makes no sense because there's guys like Jabari that freaking bench like 400 pounds or whatever. I don't know. But, yeah, I've been playing a little road to glory, so that's been pretty fun. Yeah.
Who's the toughest defensive lineman that you're going up against in practice? Who gives you the most problems?
I'd say Ricky just because he's so shifty. But, I mean, they all give us our fits, and we give them right back. So it's an everyday competition kind of thing.
All right, thanks, everybody. Your journey coming here to UCF, you're at UAB for what, 4 years?
Yes, sir.
And you're originally from what, Pensacola?
Yes, sir.
So just kind of talk about the decision to come down to UCF for your final year of college football.
Yeah, so I had hit the transfer portal because, you know, I just wanted to better myself, you know, play with better competition. So I hit the transfer portal, and I had a couple schools that was offering me and stuff, but I just fell in love with UCF. I came on, this was my only official visit. So I just, you know, when I came down here, I fell in love with it, you know. So, and the coaching staff and Coach Malzahn and Coach Roof, you know, they talked great about it, you know, and I just believed it and went with it.
You were able to utilize return game when you're at UAB. Have you worked a lot with return game here at UCF, and do you feel like you could be a contributor for that?
Oh yes, sir. I've been working a little punt return. I ain't did kick return yet because I think I'm on too many special teams, but I can be on whatever to make the team better, you know. So.
Coach Roof talked about how the versatility of the DB room is very important to him. Have you worked at multiple positions this camp?
Oh yeah, I've been in the nickel some. Really just a nickel in the corner, you know. Out there, corner, you know, it's a certain amount of routes they can run, but once you get in the slot, you know, it's more space out there. So I just have to get in the film room and, you know, work on my splits and things like that. But I've been playing too.
Describe that first scrimmage. What were points of emphasis coming out that coaches said we need to work on this?
You know, Coach Roof, he just one of his points is always just straining to the ball. You know, anything we do, he wants us to strain, get to the ball, attack the ball, and, you know, just be one as a defense. You know, that was our point of emphasis.
How's the competition been in that room? Obviously, a lot of guys vying for playing time. So you coming in, how's the competition been these first 2 weeks?
It's been great, man. You know, we got a lot of young cats in there, so and they ready. They can play at any time right now. So, you know, just coming in there, teaching them guys things and different things like that. You know, it's for the better.
Mac, you've played a lot of football. You've been a team captain, right?
Yes, sir.
Previous school. So, like, how would you maybe kind of describe your game? Like, what kind of corner are you? Like, what do you do well? What are some of your strengths out there?
I say one of my strengths is, like you said, I've been playing a lot of football, you know. So it's just once you done take a lot of reps of it, you already know what's ahead of, and you know what's coming. So I'd just say that, yeah, just having a lot of reps playing in the game.
You mentioned your return, potentially be a punt returner. Are you on the coverage units as well for kickoff and
Yes, sir. I'm on kickoff and I'm on punt.
So how much emphasis has been put towards that? Like what amount of time are you guys using to practice on that, considering that was obviously an area where UCF struggled last year?
Oh yeah. You know, I wasn't here last year, but the talks in the meetings, you know, we struggled on special teams last year a little bit. So I'm just coming in to do whatever to help the team and better the team.
Obviously, you came in the summer, but you are a veteran presence. How are you helping the younger guys? Obviously, UCF has a lot of young DBs coming through. How are you helping them?
You know, just teaching them guys the way that I was brought when I was a freshman. You know, I had older veterans in front of me, like Starlin Thomas when I was at UAB, played with the Cardinals now. I had Bronte Harris. You know, just the things that they taught me, I just instilled it and I bring it here and instill it into the young guys.
What was the, when you look at the Big 12 and UCF getting the Big 12, what was the appeal to come here and play and get an opportunity to play against some of the best teams?
I can't hear you one more time.
I'm sorry. When you were coming to UCF, and then you looked at the Big 12, what was the appeal about that, playing some of the best teams in the country?
It really wasn't no appeal to me. You know, I take every day as it's my last, you know. So whoever it is, it could be a SEC team, a Big 12 team. I'm gonna come the same way every game, every thought.
Mac, who have you in that corner room? Who else has kind of been impressing this camp? Who have you been impressed with?
We got a lot of. I've been impressed with a lot of guys. You know, I really can't stick my head out on one player because we all been the same. You know, we just come here, get the work in, like Coach Reed tell us. You know, just being 1% every day. That's it.
At this point in the camp, how do you feel? What's the grind
It's been real, man. You know, Coach Malzahn, he been putting us through it, but you know, as he said, it's for the better. You know, once we go out there, they ain't gonna take a light on us. So why would he take a light on us? So we just coming out here working hard every day.
Obviously, the D-line getting home helps you guys out in defensive backfield. What have you noticed from UCF's defensive line?
They big, man. When I was at my old school, we didn't have such height and weight as them, you know. But that's the Big 12 I can see now. So you know, the big cats like Big Lee and Ricky, you know, Lawrence, they are nasty. That's how I can describe them, nasty.
A couple more other DBs have kind of described Trevon Reed as bringing the juice. So what does the juice look like during a regular practice like this?
I could definitely say he up tempo for sure. Everything he does, even if we can make a play on the ball, we ain't even have to intercept it. He's running down the field 30 yards, you know, cheering us on, and that's what you need, you know. If you got a coach that can do it, like that just makes you go out there and want to do it even more.
Mac, this is your last year, right? Your
Yes.
final year of eligibility. So obviously new school, new conference. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do in your final year of college?
I just want to win, you know, go to the college football playoffs, you know, and just be whatever my teammates need me to be.
Is there a receiver that you've gone up against that's maybe given you some trouble, or one that you think will give other defensive guys trouble in the league?
I'll say Kobe Hudson. Yeah, he's definitely one of them ones. And Mac Wood. I could say them two. They definitely challenge him on the cover.
All right, thanks, Max. Appreciate it.